etc. Then site material management and logistic management. Then project costing, budgeting, preparation of cost to complete, then preparation of various reports, and then this risk management, which we are taking today, calculating and monitoring project risks and complete risk management, the preparation of the risk impact register, everything comes under what work that I have done. And also I have well versed with various software such as Advanced Excel, MSP, Primavera Risk Analysis, SAP, and AutoCAD. So before understanding what risk management is, we need to understand a few things about the project. The things that we'll discuss today actually are what actually a risk is, what an uncertainty is, what is risk management, and why we as civil engineers or we as the people who work in construction industry must learn risk management. What are the types of risk strategies that people follow, and what are the advantages of learning risk management, and why some companies are still in India not practicing risk management, and what is the effect of not practicing risk management on those companies. So now we'll start with what actually a project is. So a project is anything which is temporary and it has a limited life. Okay, it is well defined and it has limited resources. So I have highlighted this word limited resources. Why? Because whenever you consider about executing a project, it may be a very big project, it may be a very small project, it may be a road infra project, a metro project, whatever. The resources that you have to execute that project are limited. And those are three resources, that is manpower resources, which are your labor as well as your engineer, your staff. Then money, obviously you have a budget constraint. You cannot spend 200 cr on a project whose budget was planned for 100 cr. So always this money will be a limited resource. And obviously then material, whatever material that you have planned, accordingly you will use. If the material required is more, then again your cost will increase. That is again the money constraint will come into play. That's why I have highlighted this, that success of every project depends on limitness of these things. You cannot overuse or underuse any of the three things. This will increase your project risk and impact your project success accordingly. Then these projects are produced by teams of peoples and firms. All the teams of people are different in nature. Okay, they are from different background. Some are from technical background, some are from financial background, some are engineers, some are supervisors, some are managers, and then there are teams of people. That is, everyone has their own work to do. Client is different, contractor is different, consultant is different, architect is different. So you have to coordinate between 1,000 types of people when you think about executing a project. Okay, fourth point about a project is teams often change during the project period. Okay, many times your billing engineer will quit the job, you will hire a new billing engineer. Okay, your planner may quit the job, you hire a new planner. Your labor demobilizes, then you search for new labor. So when this project completes, before that only, many times all the teams which are participating in the completion of the project, they keep on changing. Fifth is you require contractors to marshal labor, equipment, material, and components of specific size. Okay, you require different kinds of specialized contractors in their respective job. For example, a person who is well versed in waterproofing will not carry out RCC work. Okay, then various plans are made, estimates are made, time schedules have to be made in advance, which where you have very limited information. Okay, in that limited information, whatever you have in the starting, that time you have to prepare all the schedules, that is plan, where a planner comes into play, estimates, that is cost estimates, and then obviously this time schedules. So judgment about future, most important point again, which I have highlighted. One thing that I have highlighted was this limited. Then I have highlighted this made in advance. Okay, made in advance meaning all these things which you see in this picture: money, time, budget, okay, resources, everything you have to calculate in advance. That is what planning or risk management or project management is all about. Then judgment about future has to be made. So sitting right now, you have to think about what is going to happen in your project is in next 6 months, in next 1 year, and even when you prepare a schedule, you think about all the next 3 years or 4 years, whatever is the project life cycle of your complete project. So these are the
Excuse me, sir. Sorry to interrupt, Anshit sir. Your screen is frozen. We are not able to see the next slides. If you can,
no,
maybe
no,
there is some issues
I
on
have
your
not
end.
changed the slide. I am still on the first slide. That's why.
Oh, sorry, sorry. We thought that
Okay,
everyone
no,
is
no,
texting, right? That you
okay,
are
okay, no, no,
trying
no,
to.
sorry, sorry. I was on the first slide only. That's why I'm just changing the slide. Yeah, so that's the 7 point judgment about future has to be made. So, and on all these, 7 points we need to consider. That is the characteristics of the project. Now, what are the characteristics of the construction project? Now I have changed the slide. Is it visible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So now the construction projects. Now there are various complexities in the construction projects apart from what we have seen here. In construction projects, only project management is about basically these three things: cost, time, scope, and quality. Okay. First is complex. Construction projects are very complex and they require understanding of design, construction, and management. They involve various processes, procedures, objectives, targets, both human and other resources, expectations, promises, contracts, schedules, budgets, plans, coordination, supply chain, stakeholders. So many people are involved, so many processes are involved in a even in a medium size construction project whose cost may be 200 to 300 crore, 1000 to 1100 laborers are working on the site. There are 55 to 60 engineers working on the site. There are thousands of complications involved in the supply chain. Material is being transported from different places. There are various stakeholders. What are these stakeholders? Project financiers are different, your contractors, your client, your consultant, everyone which is involved in the project, somehow they become the stakeholders of the project. So all these things you need to manage. Then the projects are shared efforts of multiple parties, and therefore uncertainty comes from various resources. As there are multiple parties involved, for example, if there is a small project, currently the demo session that I am giving, it is a small project where I myself have prepared this PPT and I myself am representing the PPT. So the chances of uncertainty are less because there is only one person currently involved. But in a construction project, so many parties are involved, so many thousands of people are involved, that uncertainty comes from so many resources that it is very difficult to calculate all kinds of risk and all kinds of uncertainties. Then we come to know that there are three factors there are three factors that become major constraints for any project. First is time overruns, that is delay. Okay, for example, most of the projects in India, when they plan to complete in 1 year, they are not even able to complete them in 1 year, 2 months, or 1 year, 3 months. These are known as time overruns or delay in a project. Then poor performance, that is compromising with the quality of the project. And third is cost overrun, that is over budget. These are the three main issues with construction projects basically all over the world, but they are on a very high scale in India. So now we'll see what actually a risk is. Risk exists if there is something you don't want to happen having a chance to happen. Okay, anything, there is a probability that it will happen, but you don't want it to happen. For example, if the winds are extraordinarily high speed winds are flowing today, your crane, the boom of your tower crane is swinging, so there is a minor chance that the boom may be damaged, or even in some sites we have seen various times in extraordinary heavy winds or hurricanes, even the crane itself falls down. Okay, so there is a risk, there is a chance of that happening, but you don't want it to happen, so that is known as a risk. But all risks are not bad risks. Risks are generally reviewed as positive risk, which are opportunities for a project which we want to extract and utilize. Then negative risk, which are threats to our project. And neutrals, which do not have any impact on the project. There are three kinds of risk when we talk about risk management. Also, risk is not static. That is why you need to prepare the risk register, or why you need to update the risk score table every 10 days, every 15 days, or at least every month, because risk is not static. It is not related to single event, but also relates to future conditions of the project. So the conditions may turn out to be favorable or maybe unfavorable. They keep on changing again and again. For example, my one risk that uh, let us consider I may not receive the payment on time from client, was today in the green zone. That is, the risk was very less. But after 1 month, as the payment is delayed by 1 month, that then my same risk will go into red zone. That is very high risk. So that's why every month or every 15 days you need to update your risk register, because uh, it is not static. The same risk may keep on changing for the project from your perspective every 10 to 15 days. Okay. So risks are unknown, unexpected, undesirable, unpredicted, all sorts of risks. Now we'll try to understand technicalities of the risk via one, two examples that I will take. This is the complete project life cycle. What you are seeing here, as per project management, there are four phases in a life cycle. First is conceive, that is the planning phase, where you just think about the project. Okay, for example, I think about constructing a 3 floor commercial complex or a commercial building on some land which I myself own. I am the client. I conceive that project. I think about that project. That is known as the first phase, conceive. Then develop phases, when I am planning and the all the development for the project happens. That is, all the plans are finalized, all the budget is finalized, the scope is finalized. I have prepared the POQ. I have finalized the RCC contractor. I have finalized the electrical contractor. This is the second phase, which is develop. Third phase is execution. That is when you are actually executing the project. That is known as execution phase. That is your construction phase. And your fourth is your demobilization phase, when you just finish the project. This is the project life cycle. Now, this side is represented increasing risk. Here it is representing the increasing value. That is the cost impact of that risk. And here is increasing time. As the time is increasing from conceive phase, you will go to development phase, then you will go to construction execution phase, and then you will finally finish the project. This is the time scale. Now, this graph is simply trying to tell you that why you need to do risk management from the earliest stage. That is because if some particular risk you identify in this conceive phase itself, then the changes or any changes in the plan or whatever, the cost incurred due to that risk will be very less. But if you identify that risk in construction phase, or when you had finalized the project and now you are trying to change it, then the cost impact on the project will be very high. This is the amount at stake, and this is the opportunity and risk. Opportunity keeps on reducing and amount at stake keeps on increasing. I will take a small example. For example, I'm preparing a I am conceiving a G+3 or G+4 floor residential building. Okay, in that building, I forgot to my architect forgot to put a window, a small window in bathroom, or a vent, what we call it, for exhaust. Okay, and also a vent in kitchen for chimney. Maybe my architect forget about it. If I had studied all those plans in detail, and I had prepared a risk register where a part is designing is also a part of risk management, where I have checked the designs and I have checked at this stage only that I need my architect to change the drawings, then the amount spent will be very less in changing the drawings in first phase. But if in third phase, that is in execution phase, if I try to change the drawings when half of my project is already completed, from G+5 floors, or 2 floors, 3 floors are already completed, then you will again break those walls. You will try to make a vent there, then you will waste the material. All those things you will do in execution phase. Your cost will increase a lot. And if you were on the demobilization phase, when you were handing over the buildings to the customer, and customer noticed it, that sir, you have not even provided vent in toilet and kitchen. So now in the fourth stage, that is in demobilization stage, now you are breaking everything, and you are trying to uh, cre- uh, create vents in bathrooms and kitchens, when painting was also completed, putty was also completed, everything was completed. So this will be a huge cost for your company and a huge reputation loss for your company. So this is an example. If the risk is not judged at an early stage, the amount at stake for your project will keep on increasing, and the opportunity will go on reducing. So this is just the risk versus project life cycle graph. So what is the difference between risk and uncertainty? Generally, in layman terms, not about in construction, but in real life, when we talk about risk and uncertainty, we think that both of the terms are same. But what actually is the difference
Excuse me,
between
sir.
the two? Yeah.
The slides are not changing, sir.
Okay, I'll just stop share and I'll reduce again. Yeah, was this graph visible before when I was discussing the graph?
No, sir. Now it's visible.
Oh, okay. Okay, so mostly I have discussed this, but I'll take it again. This is our project life cycle. Okay, these are the four phases of the project. Right now also I had discussed that if we find a risk in this first phase in the project, then it is easy and the costing is less. This graph is the project life cycle. First is our conceive phase, second is our develop phase, third is our execution phase, fourth is our finish phase. Then here it is the increasing risk, here is the value costing, and here is the time. So again, this example I had already discussed about the vents in the bathroom and kitchen. If you are able to calculate this risk in this first phase, then your amount at stake will be very less. But if you try to give vents at the end, at the phase 4 of the project, then your amount at stake will be very high and your opportunity will keep on reducing. So this, the last two phases, is the period of the highest risk impact. Okay, this, if you are not able to judge any risk in the first two phases and you are able to judge the risk while executing, while that thing actually happens, the risk impact is very high. That is, impact on your project in terms of cost, in terms of time, will be very high in this last two phases, that is execution and finish phase. So this was the example which I wanted to take related to the graph. Now, what is the difference between risk and uncertainty? Yeah, so I have changed the slide. Whenever the slide do not change, please anyone just interrupt me in the middle itself. Okay, right now I have changed the slide.
It's visible, sir.
Okay, okay, thank you. Yeah. So, in general terms, when we talk about risk in English, we confuse it with uncertainty. But in terms of industry, in terms of project management, risk and uncertainty is not same. So I'll just read out what I have written here now. The word uncertainty is used to replace the term risk. But what is the risk versus uncertainty? Uncertainty is not measurable. Okay, not possible to calculate which risk is measurable, while risk is measurable. Sorry. So the major difference, the basic difference between risk and uncertainty is, when we talk about risk in terms of construction and project management, we know that risk is measurable. Okay, we calculate the probability first of that risk happening, then we calculate its impact in terms of cost, and we multiply them, and the answer is your risk. But uncertainty is not measurable. You may have doubt about anything, that is called uncertainty, but you cannot measure it technically. One may have uncertainty without risk, but not risk without uncertainty. So uncertainty is just a part of risk, but the major difference between both of them is risk is measurable and uncertainty is not measurable. Uncertainty is the absence of information about future events. Okay, but risk, uh, in risk you are trying to anticipate the future. That is the another difference. Third difference is risk also has a dimension of perception. See, perception means your nature subject. How to explain this perception? Your perception of something happening. For example, recently I took this example. I'll take that example again. For example, COVID. Okay, there was first wave. There was first a lockdown for 3 months. Now there was second wave. There was another lockdown for 2 months. But the perception of COVID is still different for everyone. Some people are actually taking COVID seriously. They are wearing masks. They are considering all the effects of COVID. But some people are still not, uh, you know, taking taking COVID that seriously. So their perception of the same risk is that you can have COVID, but that perception of the same risk is different for two people. One person is still running out without mask, considering that nothing will happen to him. In the same way, for example, you consider about automobile industry or our construction industry. For example, in Mumbai, flats cost 1 CR, 2 CR to 10 crores, 15 crores, 20 crores. Okay, so there was one part of COVID risk that we saw with the middle class, that is us all, and the lower class, which are the laborers and vendors, etc. Everyone was very, everyone was trying to cut their cost, everyone was trying to save money, because everyone was afraid during the first wave as well as during the second wave that they can lose their job if the work stops. There can be again salary cuts, so everyone was precautious. But at the same time, when you think about the higher class, the people, ultra rich people were still spending crores of money on ultra luxurious cars. They were still buying flats, 2 flats, 3 flats, 40 crores, 50 crores flats in Mumbai. So their perception of COVID was different than our perception. We were afraid of losing our job. We were afraid of losing our family. We were trying to save money. We were thinking about our insurance, etc. So when we talk about risk, it's all about perception. Okay, the same risk for your management can be a very high risk, but the same risk for some other company who does not care about that same point can be a very low risk. So whenever we'll talk about risk in future, uh, it is all about your perception, your company's perception. To whom risk is adverse or significant, to whom risk is an opportunity or less relevant factor, risk perception is identified as one of the major improvement area in risk management. Now, what actually risk is? Phenomenon closely associated with uncertain events. It is a chance of loss. It may be either frequency or probability of occurrence. The magnitude of future loss, that is probability of occurrence into magnitude of loss. Okay, this I told just 2 minutes ago, that how we actually in real life calculate risk. This is the part of risk management. It is not able to, I know it's not able to cover in one session, but when you prepare the risk impact table, which generally all the big companies, whether you consider all the A-class contractors, which I know of, Tata, SPCL, L&T, JP, whatever the main top 30 to 40 class A contractors are there in our country, everyone is executing risk management at their site. You prepare a risk impact score table, you calculate the probability of that event, and then you calculate the impact of that event, and you multiply the same, and then you are able to come up with a risk score. That is how we calculate risk in real life. Now, so in this slide, we'll see what is the current status of India. Okay, why risk management is very important to
Sir,
be done.
slides are not changing, sir.
Okay, I'll do it again. Now is it changing? I don't know why
Yes,
this
sir.
issue
Now
is
it's
happening.
changed, sir.
Yeah, this first time I'm facing this issue. Okay, no problem. Yeah, so this is the current scenario of Indian construction industry, uh, which uh, which is a very pathetic situation, which I feel. See, this in power sector, out of 63 projects, original cost was this much. Okay, this is in crores, and anticipated cost became this one. 18% there was cost overrun. In railway projects, generally 28 to 30% there is cost overrun. Road and highway 1%. Okay, shipping and ports 0%. In urban development projects there are 4% of the cost overrun. Again, I am now changing slide. Yeah, see, in some of the projects, this cost overrun was so high that you will be actually shocked that what are we doing as civil engineers in our country. In power sector, there were 2 projects whose original cost was this much, whose anticipated cost became this much. There was 75.5% cost overrun. In railways, in few of the projects, there were 192% cost overrun. 192% cost overrun means that if your budget of the project was 100 crores, it shooted up to 192 CR. Okay, in roads and highways, in one project 100% there was cost overrun. In urban development, there was in one project 80% cost overrun. So this is the reality of Indian construction industry. To come over all this, we actually need to integrate risk management to a very deep level. Okay, now let us consider time overruns. Generally, in power projects in India, time overrun varies from 1 month to 123 months. See, 1 to 5 months time overrun, everyone understands because there are genuine issues at site. But 123 months time overrun in railways, 3 months to 261 times months extended. The project has been extended. Roads and highways, 61 months time overrun. Urban development, 60 months time overrun. So these are the realities of Indian construction industry. So can you guess what are the reasons for time overruns reported by various project implementation agencies in India? These are the reasons: delay in land acquisition, delay in forest clearance, fund constraints, problems in equipment erection, slow progress in civil works, court cases, that is legal issues, right of use, right of way problems, delay in forest clearance, delay in supply of equipments, geological surprises, geo-mining conditions, shortage of labor, moist problems, contractual issues, inadequate mobilization by the contractor, law and order situation, etc. So I am not saying that these delays can be 100%. These delays which I am talking about here right now will be 100% eradicated by risk management. But if from the start of the project, these people, these from these sectors, if they were doing risk management, they were every month preparing a risk register, they were highlighting all these risks to their senior management every 15 days, every 10 days, and they were not only highlighting, they were trying to come up with the solution. Maybe this delay, which is 100 months delay, could have been reduced to 15 months delay, or even the project could have been done on time if there was a dedicated person for risk management who was actually calculating the risk, what risk of time overrun and cost overrun we are facing on the project, and he was also highlighting those risks to the senior management. And there are two ways of risk management. I, as a planner, for example, I was uh, the person who used to prepare risk register at my site. Okay, and then I used to discuss that risk register with my project manager, and my project manager used to suggest corrections, and then we used to highlight that risk register to client and to our company's senior management. But preparing a risk register is not an issue. The actual issue is whether your management is able to solve the problem, or and whether your management is acting upon what you are trying to highlight. So there are two parts of risk management. Maybe if these projects had performed good risk management, at least 50 to 60% of the cost and time overrun which was there could have been easily saved. Okay, so that is the actual need of risk management. Why we as civil engineers, genuinely in India, at least in a country like India where everything is delayed so much, we actually need to learn risk management. Now, there are two kinds of uh, risk strategies, okay, which are followed in India. One are reactive risk strategies. I hope the my slides are changing. If not, just tell me in the middle.
Yes,
So
sir.
reactive, yeah. So reactive and proactive risk strategies. Reactive risk strategy is what I am talking about throughout. That right now you should be able to anticipate what risk your project is going to, what risks are going to happen on your project 2 months from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now. That is, you are proactively acting on that risk. That is known as a proactive strategy. What is reactive strategy? If in simple Hindi I will tell you, reactive means hoga tab dekha jayega. That is called reactive. When the problem actually comes at your head, then you try to solve that problem. That is called reactive risk strategy. So reactive risk strategy seems to be normal. Okay, firefighting mode. What happens at most of the sites, I'll tell you, in any company, this is the actual reality in our industry. What happens is, when the people who are able to anticipate the problem, they will not lay emphasis on that. The actual reason is because we all are so busy working our actual jobs, 12 hours, 14 hours as civil engineers. We are working at site, at back office, as project managers. Everyone is so much busy that risk management, we feel that it is an additional burden. Why should we carry out risk management? So what happens is, we are, as humans, we have developed that tendency that jab hoga tab hum log dekh lenge. That is the major issue for most of the projects which are failing. Failing means not the project is collapsing, project is delaying. That what I mean. What happens is, when actually an issue comes at site, maybe we have anticipated it before 15 days, before 20 days, but we didn't act upon it because we didn't get time to act upon it. And now when the issue has come at our head today, now we will go into firefighting mode. What firefighting mode means? Firefighting mode means, uh, when there is fire, then you bring water at site to, you know uh, so that you can save people and you can stop the fire. You will not use fire preventive materials, but you were waiting for the fire to happen, and now you are running behind water to stop that fire. This is known as firefighting mode, which people do in reactive risk strategies. What are generally the people will say, don't worry, I will think about something, I will deal with it when it happens, if it happens, because obviously there is a probability. We are not sure that this risk will happen. So people will say that I will deal with it whenever it will happen, if it happens. The majority of contractors, subcontractors, teams, and even their managers rely upon this kind of approach, this firefighting approach. Nothing is done about risk until something actually goes wrong at their side. Okay, the team then flies into action in an attempt to correct the problem rapidly. That is firefighting mode. If you don't actively attack the risk, they will actively attack you. That's why you need to study risk management, so that we can change our behavior from reactive to proactive risk strategy. Sorry, proactive. Accept uncertainty, identify it, assess its probability and impact, and deal with it before itself. It does not mean that the risk will not come, but when the risk will come, you will be definitely prepared for that. So these are the actual objectives of risk management. Risk management in project is about proactively working with project stakeholders to minimize the risk, that is threats, and maximize the opportunities that is associated with project decisions. Reduce the number of surprise events. Okay, we are trying to reduce the number of surprise events. How you will reduce the number of surprise events? If you have already thought about that risk before, so it will not be surprise for your company, because your company has already thought that this event can happen and you were already prepared for it. That's why it is not a surprise for you. Minimum consequences of adverse events, maximize the result of positive events, that is opportunities. And benefits, what are the benefits of project risk management? More and better information is available during planning and decision making. Project objectives are verified, improved communications, higher probability of project success. See, risk management does not promise you that your project will be 100% successful, but the probability of project success will increase. Project might get cancelled. Okay, why now this project might get cancelled? For example, you are a contractor who has a limited resources. Okay, you are a small contractor, you can only execute 15 to 20 lakh projects at a time. Now you have two options, whether you can bid for some A project or you can bid some for B project. But money you have limited, engineer you have limited, supervisor you have limited, that is all the resources that you have are limited. But you can either bid on A project or you can bid on B project. So if you do a proper risk management in the bidding stage itself, that what are my risk in A project and how I can benefit from that, what are my risk in B project and how I can benefit from that, then you may come to know that if you bid for A project, you may actually go into loss rather than profit. Okay, so now you will cancel that project and you will rather bid about B project. This is known as, if you do a proper risk management, you may even cancel a project. For example, I will take a practical example of this. I always take this example whenever I talk about risk management. The city which I belong to, okay, it is a small town where excess of land is available. There is excess of land which will not get exhausted even in next 50 years. So there is no scope for multi in my city. Okay, in my city there is still scope about row houses, bungalows, like that, but there is no scope for multis. There are 3 4 big builders in my city who have built G+4, G+5 multis. Okay, and those projects have failed drastically. Their projects, either their most of the flats are vacant, or there only 1 or 2 flats have been sold and now they are forced to keep those flats on rent. But you know that via rent they will not, even in 50 years they will not be able to cover the construction cost of that multi. Maybe if they had done the proper risk management and proper calculation beforehand, that these multis cannot be successful in a city, small city like this, where land will not get exhausted even for next 30 50 years. So rather spending their 1 cr or 2 cr on that multi, they may construct 5 row houses or 10 row houses in this small city, and that might be very much successful. But now they are, some of the companies are bankrupt, some of the builders are going through a very bad situation. That is also a part of risk management. Okay, that is was example which I wanted to take. Now, why many firms still do not do risk management after all these advantages? Why they do not perform risk management? Unwillingness to admit that risk exists. They will not admit that there is any risk. They postpone the hard parts of the project for the later stages. They think that risk management will cost money. Okay, and the most important point, upfront investment of time. Okay, because risk management has upfront investment of time, you have to invest time in it. For example, even me as a planner, when I had 10 things in my head, and I have to prepare a schedule, I have to track another schedule, I have to submit 2 schedules to client, I have to submit 1 schedule to my subcontractor. Leaving all those things, when I went to prepare risk register, that was actually even irritating for me also, because I had to invest so much time in risk management, and I have to leave my main work, that was as a planner. So most of the companies, small companies, do not do risk management because of this only upfront investment of time. Okay, and you cannot prove it is necessary. That is another issue. It's just like health insurance. You cannot prove to people that why health insurance is necessary. Before COVID, 80% of Indians never used to take health insurance. They will take life insurance, definitely, but health insurance, Mediclaim, 80 or 70% of the Indians will not take, because you cannot prove to a person who is not agreeing to health insurance that why health insurance is important. But now after COVID, now everyone understands the importance of health insurance, when they have to pay 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs, fees for hospitals. Now everyone understands the importance of health insurance. So the same thing is about risk management. You cannot prove to people that why it is necessary. Another main issue, can do management style severely inhibits risk management, that I will handle whatever will happen. That kind of management strategy, they find out ways to avoid risk management. Okay, they think that managing risk is everybody's business, why only one person should handle risk management. Okay, even I used to feel that, but I used to perform risk management, but sometimes even I used to feel that, but managing risk of such a big project is everybody's business, why all the load is on my head. Then there is only one risk, that is the project might fail, and we are managing that by working really hard day and night to assure that that doesn't happen. So everyone feels that I'm already working 24/7 so that the project might not fail. So we are handling the biggest risk. So what is the point of studying the risk management? These are the things what people think. What is risk management? Process that is step by step, enabling improvement in decision making, a logical and systematic approach, identifying opportunities and avoiding or minimizing losses. This is what is risk management is all about. Risk management is the name given to the logical and systematic method of identifying, analyzing, treating and monitoring the risk involved in any activity. See, it is not only about identifying and analyzing. The most important part is how you are treating it, how your management is acting upon the risk register that you have prepared. Because I, as a planner, is a very small post. Okay, I am not able to handle so many risks. I can prepare a risk register, but finally the decision will come from upper management, how to handle which risk. Okay, that is what is the most important point, treating. And then after treating, regularly monitoring it every month, that actually if that risk is not coming back again. Okay, risk is a methodology that helps managers make best use of their available resources. The risk management process steps are generic guide for any organization, regardless of the type of business activity or function that you are doing. The aim is not to avoid risk. Okay, again I'm saying our aim is not to avoid risk, but to make more informed decisions to ensure that project objectives are achieved and ideally exceeded. The challenge is not to avoid risk, but to take calculated risk by recognizing and managing efficiency. Who uses risk management? Everyone uses risk management. Finance and investment companies, insurance companies, healthcare, public institutions, government bodies, and obviously our construction industry. Everyone uses now risk management. Now, last 2 points which I'll try to take today, and then I will show you just a glimpse of what a risk register looks like and what a risk impact table is. I will give you the glimpse of the same. So what is the complete risk management process, which we will take in detail further later. The basic process steps are: first, you need to establish the context about the activity which you are doing. Then you need to identify those risks. then you need to analyze those risks, then you will need to evaluate those risks, and then you will finally treat those risks. So there are uh, 10-15 methods of every point, which I have just told you the points right now, which will take another one class to study in detail. So that's why I'm not able to take these topics in detail, but this is the generally methods of risk management process. Then after all these things, monitoring and review and communication and consulting with your team is a continuous process which goes on. So these are the 7 processes of risk management. Okay. When should risk management be actually carried out? Risk management planning should be applied early in the project planning process, ideally at the conceptual design phase, to help identify risk and opportunities in time, to incorporate any necessary response actions into final design, and to help refine schedule and budget estimates. So risk management should start from the beginning of the project itself, and it will be carried out till the last day of the project. Okay, that is, it is a continuous process, it is not a one life cycle process. So now just I'll show you the glimpse of risk register and risk impact table, but before that I'll tell you that we at Protrainy are actually taking a 15-day course at project risk management, which is 1 hour daily. I will be taking that course, and I'll just discuss with you in brief that what are the topics that we will cover in those uh, 15-hour sessions. So this is the course content. What is risk? What is difference between uncertainty and risk? What are positive, negative, and neutral risk? What are the reactive and proactive risk strategies? This is what we have discussed today in the first session. This we will be taking, but this is a very, very small part of risk management. Now, the main risk management will start from here. What is risk management? What are its objectives, benefits? Why we civil engineers need to study risk management? Then the 7-step processes, which we only discussed the name about, only the names right now, this we will discuss in detail. It will take 3 to 4 sessions to discuss all these 7-step processes of risk management in detail. Then we will see various categories of risk: predictable and non-predictable risk, generic risk, specific project related risk, business related risk, project life cycle risk, that is feasibility, design, construction, and operation. All these things we will discuss. Then, before practically preparing the risk register itself, there are hundreds of terms which we need to understand. So we will discuss those terms. That is, what is contingency reserve, management reserve, risk aptitude, risk appetite, risk tolerance, risk threshold, risk target, risk limit, risk probability, risk impact. This is what a risk impact table looks like. Okay, it divides your risk into green, yellow, red, that is high, medium, high, mild. These are the possibility of risk, that is very unlikely, likely, possible, likely, or very likely. And this is negligible impact, minor impact, moderate impact, significant impact, or very severe impact. Okay, this is the kind of table that we prepare. Then we will do root cause analysis and the cause mapping method. Then we will discuss the qualitative risk analysis, that is preparation of risk register. This will take 1 to 1.5 session. Then preparation of risk probability and impact matrix. This will also take 1 to 1.5 hour session. Then we will discuss quantitative risk analysis, this beta distribution and this formulas. This also we will discuss. Then we will be done with the risk part. Then we will take all these topics, that what are the different kinds of risk in different construction projects. For example, in EPC and turnkey contracts, risks are different. In BOT and DB contracts, that is design, build, and build, operate, transfer, risks are different. Then in item rate, lump sum, and cost plus contracts, risks are different. So these topics we will take for around 2 sessions. We will discuss different type of contracts and risk which are there in those type of contracts. We will not take the definitions of these contracts, but obviously what are client's risk, contractor's risk, and subcontractor risk in these different type of contracts. These we will take in 2 sessions. Then we will discuss risk response methods and risk treatment methods in detail. And then finally we will take what is insurance, how to calculate the risk insurance premium, benefits of insurance, what are things which are not included in insurance, and then these things which are very important for a civil engineer's point of view to learn, who are working in big construction companies. These policies we will discuss in detail: contractors all risk policy, erectors all risk policy, this CAR everyone might have heard of. Okay, MCE, marine cum erection, machinery breakdown, CECR, civil engineering completed risk policy. All these policies we will discuss in detail. which are required. Some are required by client, some are required by contractor, etc. We'll discuss all these policies in detail. Then finally, we will do case studies and practical aspects of risk management. Step by step, I will tell you methodology for preparing risk impact score table, and then for risk register, and then we will together prepare for a real estate project as well as a for a infra project. And then I'll give you and I will show you case studies which I have already prepared for on the two real estate high rise projects which I have worked on. I will show you their case studies and we'll discuss uh, how we can further improve our risk registers. Okay, so this was all for today's session. Just for I'll give you a glimpse of what a risk register looks like and what a risk is, impact table looks like. So I'll just share my screen. Let me open those files first. I'll share now, just a second. Yeah, so this is how a risk register looks like. Okay, it has complete project information, it has complete risk methodology, how you are going to give the score, what will be divided into what. Then you prepare the complete risk of list of risk, you give them score, then you give them how you are able to control all these things, then what are some inherent risk, then you show this table, then you show this residual risk heat map, then you show your calculations. All this is risk register. So now this is just a brief that I wanted to show you about risk management. So we'll stop our session here, but I'll definitely recommend this course for all the people who are working in construction industry or whoever aspire to work in construction industry, because this risk management is now being followed by all the companies since I think last 10 to 15 years. From all the big companies, it is now being followed. I have no idea about small companies, but all the top companies, big companies, are following this. So I'll stop my session now, and anyone wants to ask any doubt, I'm open to that, and I'll take all your doubt. Yeah, and I apologize for that, that this screen was freezing again and again. I have no clue. This is first time actually happened with me. If anyone has any doubt, they can post in the chat box and I'll answer the same. Sir, can you please tell me what is the main use of this risk management? Yes, sir. See, the main aim was, which was the objectives which I was talking. When you prepare this risk register, now what happens is you highlight all the issues that you have regarding the project, and then when you share these issues with the management, they handle those issues, they mitigate the risk. So this helps the project in saving the time, saving cost, saving quality. Okay, all these things you are able to do via this risk management, and this is what the actual use of risk management is. And if I talk for you as a professional, that how doing risk management will help you in your career, if that you are asking. So see how that will help you. It is an additional thing that will give you an edge over other people, because in every company, in every project now, whether it is only 3 crores 5 crores project, everyone is doing this risk management. So when your chances of getting selected in an interview increases, because you know risk management, you have performed. uh, Sir, is this help for a high designer engineer who is working in a consultancy company as a fresher? Yes, definitely it will help you, because any issues related to design also you will be able to enter in the risk register, and you will be able to discuss with your senior management. And if when you will do this course, for you it will become more easier compared to other people to switch jobs. Okay, because you also know that, I also know that, I have worked in this industry since last 4 or 5 years, that if we gain additional knowledge which from 10 people only 4 people have, then your chances of getting selected in a better company obviously automatically increases, because you have some additional knowledge than other people. That's why risk management is part of NICMAR, that is National Institute of Construction Management, the course which I have done, after which I was selected in SPCL, and I worked there for 3.5 to 4 years. It is it was a part of our curriculum. That is the reason, because it is required in the industry for everyone. How to manage risk management with respect to cost, time, and quality. Yes, sir. Whatever we discussed today was again regarding the same only. I'll take an example for your better understanding. For example, uh, let us consider I am not getting payment on time from client. Okay, so right now, this month, that risk is maybe in green zone. In next month, that risk again, if I don't receive payment from client, will go into red zone, and that will be a very high risk. Then I will share this risk register with client, that sir, these are the list of issues that I am facing because you are not giving me payment, and now we are going to demobilize from the site completely. Okay, and then maybe he'll clear the payment, or he'll not, then you will demobilize from the site, and you will be easily able to calculate that how much per day cost you are saving, all those things, etc. So how it will help you in time overrun, which was the example which we took, that there are delays in land acquisition, there are delays in number of laborers are less, there is shortage of work, but no one is informing their upper management. But what this happens in case of risk register is, you need to capture all the risk monthly, at least fortnightly, in 15 days. So what will happen is, whenever you will enter all these things in risk register, your management will come to know that your project is delaying by so many days, XYZ days, because the labors at site are less. So if you are not able to take corrective action, your seniors will take corrective action. At least someone will take corrective action, and maybe you will change the contractor, and you will go step by step. So this is what risk register helps you. It is a recording of every issue at site. Okay, so it helps you also, it helps your senior management, your juniors, everyone, and completely in that way it helps project in saving cost, time, and quality. Then about quality, for example, if there are NCs, that is non-compliance regarding to quality, coming too much in a project, then you will add this risk in the risk register, that quality department risk, that number of NCs rate this month are 25. So when your senior management will see in the risk register that there are 25 non-compliances, uh, then they will act accordingly, and maybe you will try to. Then how to join total course? See, sir, for that you can contact the Protrainy team uh, who has this designed this course. They will help you how to join, but I'll tell you that this course is starting from this 20th June, and it will go on for 15 days. So how to join, what is the cost, etc., you can discuss directly with Protrainy team. They will tell you everything. Course timings is the materials like notes and recordings are provided if we join the course. Yes, definitely you will receive all the recordings. If you are unable to attend, or if you are able to attend, then you will receive all my presentations daily. Whenever I take any topic, I will share that presentation after our class to the Protrainy team, and they will share with everyone of you. So all the recording, notes, presentations will be provided. Basic need to join the course: what are the assessment we can do as practical exercise. As practical exercise, prepare we will together, which I told in the course contents also, we will together prepare a risk register, we will together prepare a risk impact score table for a project. We will consider the project on which I have worked on. I will share all the specifications and details of the project with everyone, and we will together prepare a risk register and risk impact table. By the end of the session, by the end of 15 session, you will be well versed that how you are able to how you will be able to prepare a risk register. I will share case studies also with everyone. So if anything compared to risk for your lifetime, uh, it will be you will be able to do. Environment impact assessment has a TOR, that is terms of reference. Risk management also has anything similar. Sir, there are various terms of reference in risk management also. All the things that all the terminologies which I took in the course contents. Okay, all those terminologies and the graph, this calculation, this part comes they are a part of terms of reference for all these things. And also, for example, any score that we give to risk from 0 to 5. Okay, for terms of reference vary for every project and every company. For example, uh, for a project which is of 500 crores, okay, a small risk maybe up to 10 lakhs 15 lakhs will be termed as small risk. Then minor risk will be 25 to 30 lakhs loss. Then average risk may be around 40 to 45 lakhs loss. Then major risk will be if it will impact more than 60 lakhs 70 lakh, like that. So there are terms of reference, all that I will tell you in the course itself. Will we get a certificate of completion? Yes, definitely. Or why will anyone study any subject if you will not get the certificate? Because whenever you will write in your resume that you have studied risk management, then you will have to show the certificate, and also you will have to answer the interview questions when the person will ask. So what I definitely do, what I do in all my sessions, I am taking MSP, that is Microsoft Project, contracts, claims, and various other sessions with Protrainy, and also other experts are taking various other courses. Together, we all as a team are taking 20 to 25 courses on this web portal. So what we do is, by the last day, we generally, or I generally share some interview questions. I prepare a list of 20 25 questions and I share that with the team, so that because now you are getting a certificate and because you are definitely going to add it to your resume, so some basic interview questions uh, you should be prepared with. So that answers your question. You will get the certificate. Timings I'm not sure of right now. You can ask with Protrainy, but it is starting from 20th. It is 3 days from now. All the material, everything you will get. Is there any upcoming course on Microsoft project? Sir, that you will have to discuss with Protrainy, because currently the Microsoft, currently, ma'am, the course that I am taking on Microsoft project, tomorrow is its last day, and tomorrow we are finishing with that course. Maybe they will again come up with a course on Microsoft project, maybe after a month, maybe after 20 days, whatever. But you can discuss with the Protrainy team. They will tell you when the new course is coming. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for your doubts and patiently listening to this session. We'll end this sessions here. If there is anyone, all those who are interested to join this course, they can contact the Protrainy team. They will help you. Okay, I'll definitely recommend to study this. Thank you for patiently listening, and I again apologize that there was a issue in screen freezing. I have no clue why it was happening. So I know it's quite irritating that again and again the screen are freezing. So I again apologize for them for the same. Thank you. We'll end this session here. Thank you, everyone. Good night, and you can all your doubts you can discuss with the Protrainy team. Thank you. Thank you so much.